Cassandra Newman. Seeds of Greatness. Seeds of Greatness. Cassandra Newman.
Where would you be if someone in your life had not activated the seeds of greatness in you? As the chairperson, fellow Toastmasters, and honored guests. As I stepped into the foyer of the school for the very first time, I took a few moments to look around me as any naturally curious child would do. The environment was bright, white, and austere. It was a stark contrast to my home, which was warm, cozy, and well lived in. My thoughts were suddenly interrupted by a woman's friendly voice coming from behind me. As I spun around, "Good morning, I am Mrs. Goodwin, and I am your kindergarten teacher." She had a warm, friendly face, and she was wearing a huge, billowy dress. It had a floral print on it of pink and blue flowers. The best way to describe it would be to say that it looked like one of Grandma's old moo-moos. She stretched her chubby little fingers towards me, and as I held her hand, she led me over to a neat little row of clothing hooks. She pointed her finger to one of the pictures above it, and she said, "This is your hook. It's the spinning top. Do you think you'll be able to remember it?" I still do, to this day. Life in the kindergarten wing of Claremont Road Junior School soon took on a strict routine of learning and play. Every single day at 9:30 a.m., every child across the nation stopped what they were doing to sit and watch a TV show called Watch with Mother. Watch with Mother was a show that consisted of story time and songs. The same thing would happen again in the afternoon, but this time it was Listen with Mother on the radio. After lunch was nap time. Remember nap time? Out came the cots and the blankets, and Mrs. Goodwin tucked us up in bed while we were lulled to sleep by the sound of Listen with Mother on the radio. After nap time was over, Mrs. Goodwin would hand us a piece of paper. I was a little bit puzzled at first, but it had a line drawing on it. And after she explained to us what we should do, she said, "Children, begin coloring." And she handed us some crayons. Well, I had never seen crayons before, so I was totally fascinated. Bright little sticks of brilliant color. Oh, I took a handful and I began to smell them. The smell was intoxicating. It might have been toxic too back then. And so, as I began to color with those crayons, the harder I rubbed, the more potent the aroma became. And it was just then, in that moment, that I realized I had a quickening in my spirit, and I knew that this was exactly what I was created to be, an artist. Mrs. Goodwin, Mrs. Bennett, and Mrs. Taylor were my high school art teachers, and they were the exact opposites, like chalk and cheese. Mrs. Taylor was stoic and refined, and Mrs. Bennett was wild and crazy, a little bit like a female Salvador Dali. Mrs. Taylor, however, saw something special in me. She knew that I had the promise of a bright future, and I was just totally enthralled with her. She was relentless in her pursuit of making me into a brilliant artist. I remember once she purchased this huge canvas for me, just for me. Oh, I said, "Miss Taylor, I can't paint that thing, it's too big." She said, "Yes, you can, and I am going to help you." And she did. She guided and she nurtured my creative talents. I remember once I was summoned to the office. The only time you were summoned to the office was as if you were in trouble. Ooh, dear me. So I ran to the office, and when I got there, there was my English teacher, Mrs. Hogan, standing there. She said, "There you are, Miss Williams. I would like to buy one of your paintings." Me? One of my paintings? I was speechless. Wow, to think that someone valued my creativity enough to want to buy it. Whoa, I was astonished. Throughout the years, I attended several institutions of higher learning in New York and in London. It was there that I acquired my degrees. Wow. Then I became a textile surface designer. After all of that, I decided to become a teacher. Now, I am the one planting the seeds of creativity into the hands of eager little children every day. And now when I hand them fistfuls of crayons, I just delight in their oohs and ahs. Every time I teach, I am transferring my love of art to them, just as Miss Goodwin, Miss Taylor, and Miss Bennett had done for me. There's a seed of greatness in you. Let it grow. Do you have a special gift or a talent that you would share with someone else? Just do it. Have you buried a talent that you are waiting for the right time? Is it laying dormant within you? The right time is now.